Hi, and welcome to I Love the Library. My name is Greta, and I am your Detroit Lakes Library Director until May 5th. This is my last segment for TV3, and I wanted to shoot this segment to share the news with you that I will be leaving the Detroit Lakes Library and let you know what I'm doing next. But first, I just want to say thank you to all of you who have watched over the past 5.5 years, have watched my segments. I began at the Detroit Lakes Library in September of 2017 as the children's librarian, and then I became the director in January of 2019. So I have been with the Detroit Lakes Library for 5.5 years, and I have to tell you, I have so appreciated my time here at the DL Library. More than anything, I have really enjoyed getting to know this community, getting to know customers. I've enjoyed getting to know my TV3 viewers because I know that you guys watch this segment, and I've heard from you that you watch this segment, and I've always appreciated when you've let me know that you saw me on TV3. So thank you to everyone who has watched, and let us tell you about all that you can get here at the Detroit Lakes Library. And I encourage you, of course, to continue to use your library. I want to just let you know a little bit about my career as a public librarian. So I began as a public librarian 11.5 years ago. I worked in libraries in North Dakota, in Wisconsin, and now my last 5.5 years have been here in Detroit Lakes. I absolutely have loved my career as a public librarian. And some highlights from here in Detroit Lakes. I think a big one has been, again, getting to know the community, and with that, really getting to feel the support that this community has for their library. One thing is this beautiful building. It's really evident that people take pride in the building with its history as a Carnegie library, but then just people that walk in and talk to me, and I've heard so many stories about people's memories of coming to this library from when they were kids, or when they were in school and studying here, or bringing their family into this library, bringing their kids and grandkids in for story times. All the different ways that people use and experience this library, and it's really evident that this is a well-used and well-loved library, and that's just one of the great part about being a public librarian, is getting to know your customers and getting to talk to people, and it's definitely one thing I'm going to miss. It's one of my favorite parts of being a public librarian. The last 4.5 years as library director have definitely been eventful. I think the big thing is just leading this library through the pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic definitely changed a lot of things for a lot of different industries, and I know for the library, it honestly was a catalyst for us to put things into place to make the library more convenient, more accessible, and I'm very proud to say that a lot of the services that have put in place because of the pandemic, we've continued to offer because they've been very popular and you all have taken advantage of them. But I think that's definitely going to be something I will always remember when I think back to my time at the DL Library, is just going through the pandemic. And again, during that time, we really felt the love and support from the community. We wouldn't have been able to do it without a supportive community. Just some other projects that I've done here at here as the DL library director. The book bike is probably a big one. And I look forward to continuing to see what the book bike gets out and gets up to over the next few years, because I know that DL staff will continue to utilize the book bike. We've done a lot of different improvements and things to the library coming out of the community needs assessment. So that's another thing that I'm very proud of doing during my time here as the DL Library Director, is completing the community needs assessment, really asking our community what you wanted from the library, and then from that we've been able already, just a couple years out, to put some things into place. So like our refresh, we call it the refresh of the juvenile and young adult area. We were able to complete that, and we've seen a lot more traffic into those areas, and we've seen that get a lot more use from the youth. And then a really big one that just got finished is our bathroom remodel. So that came in top of the community needs assessment as a very, very high need for this library, and I'm proud to say that I was able to see it through, and with that just got finished just a month ago. So there's many things that I'm proud of for doing and was able to do during my time here at the library, but those are just a few of them. So what am I doing next? I'm not going too far, and I know a lot of you are in the Perm area, because I hear from viewers in Perm, but there is a bookstore in Perm, the Willow Bookstore, and I am going to be the new owner of the Willow Bookstore. So you'll still see me if you come into the bookstore. Starting in late May is when I'm going to start there. And I will be the new owner. I've got a lot of new ideas for the bookstore, and that is honestly something I've always wanted to do, along with being a public librarian, and just the timing and circumstances, everything just kind of lined up, and the opportunity presented itself, and I decided to take it. So that's where I'm leaving for. I'm just leaving to Perm is my hometown. I live in Perm, so I'm just kind of migrating back and going to be working in my hometown as the new owner of the bookstore in Perm. So I just want to thank you all again for watching. I love the library. I encourage you to continue to watch, continue to pay attention to all the great things that I know the DL Library is going to bring. And I just thank you for your support over all these years.